All right, so let's go through some of the most important interactions that you need to know about when using the Drill Down Scatter Pro visual. So the first things first, as always, ZoomCharts comes with its signature drill down, and in order to activate it, it's quite simple. You just simply click on a node, and that's going to drill down to the second layer, which is defined through the categories field. We can use the reset toolbar item to get back or zoom out. Different approaches going to be used for different scenarios. So that's a simple left click. If you don't have a subsegment or a different level to drill down into, a left click is going to be a selection and is going to be passing out a filter. If you have multiple levels and if you still want to select, for example, this node without drilling down into it, you can actually hold down Control and click on the node, and that's going to pass out a filter. You can keep holding down Control and select multiple additional items on top of it. So that's another way on how you can create selections and pass them out as filter context. So that's for left click. For the right click, if you hover over it, you can see the tooltip. If you right click on it, that's going to call out a context menu, which is going to be by default the Power BI default context menu, which has the drill through options and so forth. But an alternative you can use here is if you go into the formatting options, go to navigation and switch the right click from Power BI context menu to default context menu. And now right clicking on a node is going to call out a tooltip. And you can still hover over something else and see a different tooltip. So that's, again, a different approach you can investigate here. So now we go through that, going back to the visual. So one of the coolest things I think about the visual is that in comparison to other scatter visuals, this one actually allows you to freely move around it. Now, what I mean by this is that when you take your left mouse click and hold the chart area, you can just move it around. That's already interesting, right? One of the reasons for this is because you can reposition the view and look at some of the more important nodes. Alternatively, if you, for example, do a drill down, you can see we have more of a cluster here. So I can see it, but I can't really know what identical points there are, or are they overlapping or whatnot. So what you can do on top of it is you can actually use the scroll wheel to actually zoom in into more detailed views. You can zoom in, zoom out, move it around. And like I said, it's one of the cool things about the visual that it allows you to just freely move around the area. You can find what's interesting to you. If there is any overlap, you can just zoom in a bit more to separate the nodes. So it really just allows you to have that advanced analytics part to it. Now, once you're done with sort of playing around with the visual in a sense, you can also do a few other options on how to select the nodes. Like I said, left click, if there's no drill down, is going to be a selection. Control left click is going to be a multiple selection. There are a few other ways on how you can create a multi-selection. One of them is if you hold down the left mouse button for a while, you can see the cursor changes and activates basically a selection box, which now allows you to create a rectangular selection. Anything that's within the boundaries of the selection is going to be selected and passed out as a filter. On top of that, if you think about, okay, it's an interesting idea, but I kind of need a different form. A rectangular is kind of hard for me in this because I want to select these four, for example, and this one at the bottom. So what you can do is in the toolbar, there's this lasso icon. Once you activate it, this allows you to create a free form selection, and you can activate it by clicking on it, left click to create additional points, and right click to close it. You can see everything that was within the boundaries has been selected. If you want to clear the selection, you just simply click on a white area. If you create a selection and then decide that I actually wanted to have these 2 points as well, don't worry about it. You have multiple options on how to do that. You can either hold down Control and add them one by one, or you can activate the lasso tool again without clearing out the selection. That's the most important part. Keep everything still active. Activate the lasso tool and create a new set of selected nodes, which is just going to be added to the previous selection. So again, what we're trying to do with these interactions is to bring more analytical power to the user. So feel free to use them, try them out, and let us know what you think about them. What else? We do have toolbar items, and there are multiple of them. You can actually go into the formatting options and open up the toolbar section right here and see all the items that you can enable. So zoom controls, fit to screen controls, lasso, zoom out, and reset. Different buttons, different use cases. But you can see some of them are going to be here at the top. Some of them are going to be right here on the side as the zoom slider, and some of them are going to be at the bottom. So for example, fit to screen is really nice in those cases where you have started to do some analytics, let's say, and zoomed into this cluster right here. but then just want to zoom out, reposition the chart, but you don't want to have the hassle to kind of, trying to figure out how to do this all by yourself, just simply click on Fit to Screen, and the chart is going to automatically find a position and the zoom level where everything is visible. So use those, see what else you can do with the chart, and if you have any other ideas on how we can enhance the visual, let us know about it. We're more than happy to hear them and make the visuals even better.